Did I not? Oh. All right. Did I actually? Okay, now it's live. Oh my goodness. All right, well, that's embarrassing. I think I should start over then because I didn't realize I was actually not live that whole time. It said streaming on OBS, but okay. Yeah. We're gonna delete what we've done so far. Or I'll do a quick recap, but I'll start over from scratch. Essentially, I've been building my lineup. I have a pretty bad team, to be honest. I have not been grinding the game. But first and foremost, I'm just going to start over. Honestly, that'll be better. So we're going to go delete that. Okay, we'll flip. Change. All right. So we're going to do a 6-1 glitch. I'm going to throw today's date just so I remember when I did it. All right. Today is the 29th. Perfect. Okay, so first and foremost, we can have two linebackers in the entire lineup. That's on all 8 of these spots. Now you can, so whoever you put here can be in your backup outside linebacker spots, but they must be the same players. You can have 2 different linebackers on your squad. If you just saw the beginning, you know that I went with Jack Campbell. That's honestly one of my best players right now, as I have a poor man's team. Hopefully Rashawn Gary bounces back up because he was in a set he wasn't supposed to be in earlier. But for now, these 2 are my 2 linebackers, Ted Hendricks, Jack Campbell. I still had a most feared and Vikings theme team, just because it was decently affordable back when I was playing in the last tournament. But I know now that is severely outdated. But for the sake of this video, teaching you guys how to do the glitch, it'll be just fine. And again, I hope that troubleshooting the glitch, making sure that everything works as we want it to, will help you guys do it yourself. So if you haven't watched my videos on it, I have 2 of them, one from this year, one from last year. They're very similar. Watch those first, see if you can get it just based on that. But otherwise, hopefully seeing me do it, going through it live will also help you. So here, I think just for now, I'm gonna put oh, there it goes, crash. Dean Lowry, just because I want to be able to complete the lineup. I was using dollars, so to be honest, I didn't use a lot of defensive ends. How do you find route combos? That's a good question. So you could watch, obviously, YouTube videos of decent players and kind of just, if you have any sort of computer, pause and just kind of watch each route, see what they have. But I like to think of the field on offense in quadrants. So you have, short, left, medium, or you have short, left, middle, and right. You have intermediate, left, middle, right, and then you have deep of those 3. So I think of it as a grid. And if you think of a basic flood concept, what that is you attack all 3 levels of the same side of the field, right? So you have like an out route or a flat route, then you have a corner route that attacks kind of the middle, and then the middle left, or if you're running it to the left, and then the deep left would be like a streak. So basically the idea is you want to be attacking different areas in the field based on the coverage. So double Mabel, gosh, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but like one of the common defenses you'll see online is called double Mabel, and what that is there's 2 flats on one side, so that would counter like a flood concept, right? So a Mabel would have a short flat and a middle flat, and then the deep blue, of course, would cover the streak. So you would have the short flat covering the out route or the flat route. The cloud at like 25 would be covering the corner route, and then the deep blue on that same side. And I'll show when I'm actually in the game, I'll be able to explain it a lot better. Right now, I was just kind of going over the 6-1 glitch. So let me pull up the lineup screen again. Okay. So here we're going to go with the defensive end. So for this, I have Von Miller. So he can go there. And then I'll put him in right away at the backup right end spot. So then his team counts, right? And then at the right end position, I'll start a defensive tackle. Doesn't really matter who, like it literally doesn't matter. These guys won't play. I'll just throw Gilbert Brown there. At defensive tackle 1 and 2. Just put 2 guys, Perry and Donald. I have a very it's all right, man. I do this for fun. I appreciate it. But I think when I was learning the game, I wasn't afraid to buy an ebook or 2. Once you get a feel for it, route concepts are really universal. But I would say watch good players and kind of see what they're doing. And you can get there through that. But also, just think logically about what zones the defense is in, and then try to attack areas where they're not, because you can't cover everything, basically. That's why people like to find glitch blitzes, because something will be open eventually with a good route combo. And one of the best counters to something being open is to have a guy rushing free. So that's why you see a lot of those cheese blitzes online. It's kind of like what those are for. Okay, let's see if I can please. Okay, Dean Lowry, that's what I wanted. Now, he's not actually going to play, but for the sake of just getting this set up right now, he's who I'm going to use because he is a Viking. Kevin, I'm going to just use Most Feared and Vikings because that's who I had already. All right, so this is the key part, what I've already set up here of the 6-1 glitch. So again, you're only allowed 2 linebackers of any kind in the entire lineup. So right now I have Jack Campbell and Ted Hendricks, middle linebacker, left outside linebacker. You're allowed 2 ends in your entire lineup. For me, that's Von Miller and Dean Lowry. I know Dean Lowry is not good, but for the sake of this, I kind of came over from dollar. So, I was using outside linebackers there, so I just don't have that many good ends. But for now, these 2 guys. And then to make sure that the chemistry counts, I put Ted Hendricks in at the backup linebacker spot because he's a left outside linebacker. And Jack Campbell already counted, obviously, because he's a middle linebacker, and that's where I played him. Now, at the ends and DT spots, you need to have all defensive tackles. So that's what I have here. And then at the backup end spots, I'm going to put Von Miller and Dean Lowry, so then the chems count there. You can put D tackles in if you want, but they have to be D tackles, and then the rest of the lineup on this page can be exactly what you want. There's no restrictions here. One of the first things that I'm going to try to figure out is who the game wants to put in. So the whole purpose of this glitch is to force the game to put in players at spots where you literally don't have anybody. So both my ends are going to start at the D tackle position. Both my linebackers are going to be at the D end position, which is going to force the outside linebacker positions and the middle linebacker position to be assigned by the game. And the game is just going to pick your highest 3 overall players. And we'll get into that. You're going to see, perhaps I'm going to get an offensive lineman in there. It has nothing to do with it trying to give you a DB. It has everything to do with what the overalls are of the players that you have left over on your roster. So that's why there is some trial and error with it. And you'll see guys I tried this glitch and I got, a punter in at this position because it's my highest overall. Then they don't realize it's just because it's their highest overall card. And nothing to do with the fact that the game wants to give you DBs at that position. It's just simply literally has nothing else to put there, so it just puts in a card. All right. Oh, the song seems a little bit loud. Let's turn this down a little bit. So I still have most feared cards. I don't really care. We'll see how well I do. I haven't been really grinding the game as much as I should have, so our team is a little bit lacking, but we're going to do the best we can with what we have. All right, for kick returner, who was it before? I'll just throw like Gabe Davis in there because he's the most feared player, and I don't care if he gets lit up on the kick return. Okay, offense can be completely normal. However, just keep in mind, if you do have a super high overall offensive player, there's a chance the game will put him in at your outside linebacker position. So that'll be something that sincerely is trial and error. So I look forward to what's going to happen the first time I try the glitch, because there's not a chance I get it right the first time. And maybe that, just hearing that will help you guys down the road. If you're trying to do the glitch and you're getting frustrated that it's not putting a player in that you want, maybe just hearing me say like, yeah, I don't know who's going to put there to start, but I'm going to tinker with it until I get it the way I want it. And then once you have it, you have it. Again, offense. So Randy Moss, keep that one in mind. That's a 91 overall. So that one, there's a good chance Randy Moss is going to be in one of those spots, if I'm honest. I may not be able to use Randy Moss if I don't have any high overall, like 91s that I'm trying to glitch there. We will see. I'm just making a mental note of that right now, that I think Randy Moss might be one of the ones that gets glitched into the linebacker spot, which you could make a pretty funny YouTube video if that's what you're going after. I think Throne made a video a couple years ago with using Randy Moss with like human joystick in at linebacker or sub linebacker. So now you know how he did that was through a glitch like this. Let's take a look at. So I'll just throw the fullback there. Most feared. Okay, Gabe Davis. I think Jordan Addison. I'm just throwing guys in for now, and then I'll take a look at where I'm at theme team wise once I'm done. I don't think I'm going to have 25 of either most feared or Minnesota right now, but I just want to get something put together before I fine tune it. I'm actually a Packer fan, which is kind of funny considering I'm using a Viking theme team. They had some really good free cards, and being pretty much no money spent other than like the first week of the game, I bought the elite or the high-end version of the game, I guess, just to get something started, but haven't put money into it since. So leveraging the freebies like Randy Moss or Javon Curse. I think there was even another one that the Vikings got that I'm like, hey, might as well use them because I wanted to use those free cards anyway. Let me know what you guys think of Team Diamonds too, by the way. Now, this is the night where it got revealed, so I have no clue what the actual prices of these cards are, but they were kind of insane, man. 96s for the top two cards. Now, I think the 92s were pretty mid. They were kind of slow. They didn't really beef them up too much, but the 296s, man, those cards are probably going to be good to like mid-January, right? Like, pretty good shelf life on those guys. Can't remember. I did put Runyon in there. So let's put right tackle. Should be one around here, no? Oh, I think I actually have a most feared one. Yeah, all right. That's cool. Most feared is fine too. All right, this is pretty much the exact offense that I had before. Throwing Conklin for the extra most feared there. Okay, again, back to the defense now that it's been built. Yeah, let's quickly review. So all your skill positions, your safeties, your corners, they can be anybody that you want. Totally normal. That's cool. When you get to the meat of your defense, that's when it gets really picky. Must have 2 and only 2 linebackers. I chose a middle linebacker and a left outside linebacker. They need to be different too. You can't have the same position. You can't have like 2 outside or 2 left outside linebackers. One, they can be a right and a left, a middle and a left, a middle and a right. You get the idea. 2 different ones. So I went with Campbell and Ted Hendricks. Just I think they're my best 2 right now. Then 2 and only 2 ends on the team. Von Miller was really the only good one that I had. No, and then I just threw in Dean Lowry because I had him and he was a Harvest Viking. So, you know, for the objectives, I just had him. And then at the ends and DT spots, you're going to go straight defensive tackles across. Now, do sneak in your ends at the backup spots so you get the team chem to count. But otherwise, you're just throwing them in. And actually, I can throw in Tomlinson in the spot. So then, you know, that's just another Viking. So how am I doing? 15 and 19. Yeah, I figured. Not too great as far as the team chem side of things. We'll just throw in our specialist here. And then I think we're just about ready to go into practice mode and see what we have. Like I said, I think Randy Moss is going to be one of them. Oh, sub linebacker, very important. You can put in the 2 linebackers that you already have, but do not put in, like, don't put in Dave Robinson if you're me. Don't put in an extra one that will mess it up. So, or Anthony Walker. So obviously I have some cards that I can't use. And honestly, it doesn't even matter who you have here because 6-1 doesn't really utilize this package. So yeah, this is not a package glitch. This is honestly the game can't put anybody where it wants to, and it just picks the highest overall player for you. That's what it does. So I don't even think this matters. I'm just gonna throw in Miller. Again, just pick guys that are already in your lineup here. It does not matter. Slot corner, again, doesn't matter. Could sneak in like a Tariq Woolen for theme team purposes. If you don't have his theme team and you want to sneak him in, that's a good way to do it. That's why I'm doing it. Man, my team is literally super poor. But anyway, strategy. We'll just throw in this. Yeah, I don't even have rare strategy items. We'll do zone coverage. I think those are expired. Team affinity. We're gonna have Vikings, coach. I don't know, I'll just throw in juke move. I don't know if that counts towards Vikings or not. I don't think it does, but just throw it on there. Vikings, perfect. Okay. Let's turn on some abilities. Honestly, I should go jukebox on Alvin Kamara. I might change that. I had goal line back because I needed rushing touchdowns, and I was just getting frustrated. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll make this easy. Okay, so deep out KO, deep out KO, like that. Deep in and Lurk Artist. That's exactly what I want. Okay. All right, so if I had a guess right here, I'm going to just take a quick guess as to who it's going to put. I think it's going to put Randy Moss. And I'm going to guess Curse and maybe Night Train Lane. I'll just turn on. No idea if I'm right or not. I have not used this. Oh, I need to just make sure I have a 6-1 book. I do. The best one. The Patriots have Tampa 2, It's the only book in the game that has Tampa 2. It's a pretty good defense. Now you can make Tampa 2 out of cover 4, but it takes a lot more button pushing. So, you know, if you want to run dollar with it, that would be what you would do is to pick Kansas City Chiefs at both 6-1 and dollar, and then you would just have to manually make your cover 2 if you wanted to do it. So first thing, flip sides. Gosh, hopefully I remember all the steps. So I'm just going to call something and something. Look at that. I think, look at that. We didn't even do any glitching. You want to know immediately what I noticed there? Here, I'll pause. See if you guys notice it as well. I haven't even done anything with the roster, and look at who's playing middle line, who's playing middle linebacker for us without even doing anything with the roster. We have Randy Moss there. So should be on the right track. Okay. So one thing that I like to do, because I want to know who on my roster the game thinks is the highest overall for these safeties, I'm going to put in awful corners subbed in. That's going to lock them in. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to pick the worst ones on my roster. Okay. So now all my high overall cards are kind of like available. They haven't been locked in. So I suggest you do the same. So I threw a Nixon, Jones, Ford, Krause, I guess isn't that bad. But I threw all those guys in just to see who the game would put in theory. So the last thing you do before you pause it is you go to your left of screen end and sub in Ted Hendricks, okay? Or your left outside linebacker, whatever linebacker isn't in the game. So then you go to coaching, depth chart, reorder it. God, it'd be cool if this thing worked right off the shoot. Oh, is it left or right end? I think it's right end. So I think it's right end. I might be wrong, but I think it's right end. And I subbed in my D tackle there. So now I go over to the actual D tackle spot, and I'm going to sub in that same end that I just subbed out. All right. And then the last thing is I think I want Ted Hendricks here. Oof. We'll see. All right, let's see. How do we do? Okay, Campbell's there. Okay, so Woolen, Jair. Moss is at defensive end. Oh, boy. Okay, we're going to have to work on this. Okay, Lowry and Von Miller are in the right spot. That's how I expected it. But right now we have Randy Moss at defensive end. I don't love that. Comical, though. Jair's at outside linebacker. Yes, that's right. Campbell stayed at middle linebacker. Is that because he's my highest overall card? I might have to take him out and see what happens. Tariq Woolen's at an outside linebacker spot. So that's good. I do like that. So that would tell me that Jair and Woolen are high enough overall to potentially do this glitch. I think, so ideally Campbell and Moss would switch spots, right? Or I guess Moss, somebody else, an actual DB. But there's a chance, because Campbell is my highest overall defensive player, there's a chance that that's messing it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and back to my lineup screen. Again, this is the trial and error of this. And I'm going to find a lower overall linebacker to try. This my thing wants to fall. Apologize. Okay. So yes, it can definitely be an iterative process. So, okay. Jack Campbell. Let's go with, instead, I like Terry Tate. He's also got a really good chem. He gets like ×5 most feared, so that's kind of cool. Okay, we're going to try him instead. Again, do practice mode. You won't be rushed. And you'll be able to laugh when a player, like, gets into the wrong position instead of being like, oh my gosh, I got to play the whole game and my lineup's messed up, right? So flip sides, but you do have to call a dummy play. That is actually a step that I've noticed people skip and it actually messes it up. So you do have to call a dummy play to switch sides. Okay, again, I'm going to sub in my worst players. Now, normally I'd sub in the players that I want to play in these spots, but for testing purposes, I'm going to sub in my worst ones. And then, again, left of screen N, sub in Ted Hendricks, and pause. Depth chart. Reorder. You would have to fix your offense. We're not too worried about that right now. Okay, so right end, I put in Donald, just the D tackle, and then at D tackle, I put in the right end. Okay, so now middle linebacker's empty. I get flipped. This is the part where I get mixed up. So if I want... I don't want to put him there. I need to put... I think I need to put Ted Hendricks there. Let's try that. We did it. Yep, this is right. All right. That was right. So do that. Because I was expecting Randy Moss. He is my highest overall player. So Randy Moss is, in fact, at middle linebacker. Tariq Woolen and Jair Alexander on the outside. And Terry Tate, Dean Lowry. Again, not a good player, but fine for this. Von Miller and Ted Hendricks are on the D-line. So not one of those defensive tackles that are on your roster actually got put in there. Okay. And then from this point, okay, so Jair and Woolen, that's what I need to write down, because those are two players then that I cannot put somewhere else. But I can put, I believe, any other DB around. So let's just see. So Night Train Lane can go there. Curse can go there. Palomau can go there. Actually, Curse has deep out, so I want him not there. Okay, hold on. I guess Maddox here. Again, you cannot put in Jair. That would mess this whole thing up at this point. So Curse. And actually, okay, Tariq Woolen is not great because he does have my deep outside KO. So that is one thing. That's a little, like, I'd prefer someone else. So I might tinker with that because I do want him on the outside with this deep out KO. But for now, this is the best that I can do, I believe. I think Kraus would be better. Yeah. Okay. So then, like I said, Tampa 2, we have... Call it Buzz. I just want to see. Can you actually lurk stuff with Randy Moss? I just want to see how he feels. We can definitely press. Okay, so then you do something like... Something like this would be pretty good, D. Okay. Alright. I just want to see how Moss feels on defense. Maybe the second part of this will be using Randy Moss at middle linebacker. Just for the heck of it. Yeah, I like this is good. Okay, can you hike the ball? Thank you. Okay, he did not animate there very well. All right, set up the D again. Okay. Okay. That's cool. I don't know if he'd animate. That's just it. I'm gonna... Is my quality? Can that be better? Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay. I don't know if that the biggest thing is would he actually animate? Because I do like using Randy Moss. Now, if I didn't use Randy Moss, who would it be? All right, so next iteration of this, let's go to lineup. We'll just go Chase, Adams. I only use 2 guys anyway. I don't know if there's another. Okay, we can use Guyton, that's fine. Okay, so Moss should be off the roster. Yep, he is. He had my Route Apprentice, so I might have to change that. But anyway, just curious if we're going back into practice. I want to see if I put Tariq Woolen on the outside, if I get who I get. So again, you want to flip sides, call it dummy play, call it play. Good. All right, so this time I'm actually going to be more strategic. So I want Woolen here, Paul there. That's actually, I want Paul Mall there because he has my deep in. Kraus there is fine. And I want Curse here. So yes, now this is actually who I want in my secondary. So that's good. And then I put 10 Hendricks there. Okay, so then I go to depth chart. Reorder depth chart. Right end, you sub into your D tackle. D tackle, you sub in your right end. And then at your right outside linebacker spot, you sub in your other linebacker. And unfortunately, William Perry now wants to throw a wrench in things. But Night Train Lane and Jair worked. William Perry wants to be out here. Okay. Close. It makes sense because William Perry is a 91 overall, I think. Is there a way to only move a DB to the middle linebacker position? Okay. So, yeah, I'm sure it is. You have to think of the middle linebacker position as your highest overall card. So basically, by setting it up this way, where you only have 2 DNs on your whole roster and 2 outside linebackers, you're forcing the game to put in 3 players based on their overall, and they go to these 3 spots, right? So if you wanted a corner here, it would have to be your highest overall player on the entire team. So for me, I guess right now it's Jair Alexander. It's a little strange. I'm not entirely sure why that is. But the middle linebacker is the highest overall player. So just in a little while ago, I had Randy Moss here because he was my highest overall player. I took Randy Moss out for now because I wanted to see, because I don't think offensive players animate, unfortunately, on defense. It would be fun for like a video to use user Randy Moss, I feel like, but I don't think they play particularly well. So right now I have Perry. So essentially that would be, you know, your normal player if it's your second highest overall player, and then your third highest overall player would go there. But if you're saying just like without lineup glitching, could you get a corner here? The answer would be no. Unfortunately, there isn't like a package you can just like be like, here, game, I want to have a DB here. You kind of have to go through the full lineup glitch, and then it's your highest overall player. So I'm going to take out William Perry and see if I can get 3 DBs in there the next time I try. Because I wasn't going to use, I mean, I don't use Perry anyway. And he's not even my theme team. So there's not really a good reason why he's, well, okay, there's a decent reason. Because if I use literally any other formation besides 6-1, I may want to have like an actual DT like William Perry, but for the sake of this, we don't need him. Actually, Gilbert Brown, I mean, he's a Packer, so that's not really helpful. Is there, yeah, there's another Viking. I'm just trying to get all the Vikings in. Is there another one or no? There's that right end, but no. The game sometimes glitches out when I go too far down, so I'm going to stop now. Okay. All right. Let's go try. We'll just throw. Was there an Donald? Okay. This is perfect. All right. Back to practice mode. And it does. Hopefully, even if nothing else, you guys just seeing me have to tinker with it for a while. And I've run this defense before. I haven't run it recently, which is why I'm a little bit rusty on it. But hopefully seeing me have to like work through it gives you guys, if you don't get it on your first shot, give you guys confidence that you guys can figure it out pretty soon. Okay, so that's Wool in there without doing anything interesting. Again, you do have to call a dummy play and just like give yourself up. So you're actually on defense. After you flip sides, you're still not considered defense, and you need to be defense for this to work. All right. So based on my abilities, I want Woolen and Curse on the outside for sure. And then I want Palamau. Have to be careful here. I'm going to sub in a bad one. Okay, Palamau there and Kraus there. Yep. That's right for my abilities. And the last step before you pause the game, Ted Hendricks goes there. Okay. Depth chart. Reorder depth chart. Von Miller subbed out for a DT. Von Miller subbed in at DT. Right outside linebacker. Ted Hendricks back up. And then you go to your rush package. All right. Parham. All right, we're kind of down bad. We probably don't have. It's not choosing Maddox. I don't know why, because I do have Maddox in the lineup. I would have thought maybe the game would have picked him. It doesn't seem to want to. Now it switched to Parham as my outside linebacker, which is interesting. Jayer's cool. Night Train Lane is cool. Obviously, Dean Lowry, no one wants to have on their field. I just needed him to plug the space for now. Jayer's short. you wouldn't even want to use him either. I'm proving out concepts now. I'm not really worried about how I want to run 6-1 just yet. I think I would need to have to. I think I need to buy one more high overall, like DB of some sort. And I'm trying to think of who would be a good option for that. You guys will have much better teams than me. I realize that too. I am poor. I bought up a lot of Rashawn Gary's, hoping that he'd bounce back in price. He has slightly. Because I figured that team of the week sets are usually, since they have to be team of the week cards, are generally more expensive. So I was just hoping that, you know, perhaps he bounced back. He was in a set he wasn't supposed to be in earlier. Okay. I think to wrap up this specific stream, I want to just buy some sort of 90. Just to finish off the lineup glitch. I think Justin Simmons is a good one. I kind of had him in mind. Buda Baker. He's really cheap. Is he really short too? He's 5'10". So he's 6'2", so he's quite a bit better. Yeah, I'll buy him. Let me know if you are watching, trying to figure it out. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments to this video. I think that would probably be the best way that I'll probably see them. Okay, so Simmons can go there. Just need to switch him to most feared. And again, I know this team is not the best team by any means, but the concepts still apply. So if I'm working with all 90 overalls and you're working with all 92s, that's totally fine. It's not a big difference. You're just kind of seeing the process for how I'm troubleshooting right now. Okay, going back into practice mode. I think my next stream I'm going to actually use the defense and like show you guys adjustments out of it. But I think for this particular stream, I just want to go through kind of like troubleshooting the different ways to get the lineup glitch to work. So again, I want Woolen, Curse on the outside, Simmons there. Oh no, I don't want Simmons. Shoot. See, I messed up. And when you mess up, you just have to leave, unfortunately. So the reason why I messed up there is I want Simmons to not be locked into his place. And as soon as you sub him into a spot in your secondary, he is no longer going to get glitched in. So that's where I messed up there, because I wanted Simmons to be at one of my linebacker spots. When I subbed him in at strong safety there, that locked him in. The game is no longer ever going to put him in at anywhere else. He's stuck. So that's why I immediately, so hopefully like be careful in game. It's going to take reps, because if you do mess that up and you're playing someone online, unfortunately your lineup's going to be messed up. And that is, I guess, just another part of running this particular defense, is you do have to be careful at the beginning of the game to not goof up. So Woolen, Curse, off to a good start. As a rule of thumb, I like to sub in bad players because I know I don't want to use them. So there, I needed Paul Amau freed up because he has my deep in KO, and this position, the free safety, is going to be in the deep middle blue for my cover 3 defense most of the time, so I do want him there. And then I know that Paul Kraus is the leftover guy. So then I go to the defensive tackle, sub in Ted Hendricks there, which is perfect. And then I pause. Depth chart. Reorder depth chart. And then I go to right end, sub in Gilbert Brown, which I believe the reason why this works is we already locked in our right end previously. So subbing him to D tackle doesn't do anything because we already locked down that position. But then we free up Von Miller to be subbed into DT, which is helpful. And then when we go to right outside linebacker, I'm not sure why this. I just know that you should put your other linebacker in backup right outside linebacker 2. I just know that. Middle linebacker should be blank. Or it doesn't have to be blank. You could have one of these should be blank, and the other one you put the right outside linebacker, or you put them at 2. Anyway, that's a lot of words. Just do as I showed there. So now we're in the LB rush package. I changed that. So now we have Simmons. Hey, look at that. Simmons went right to middle linebacker 1. Nitrine Lane and Jair are outside. And there you go. That would be it. And then I know, Dean Lowry again, kind of a meme on him at this point. But yeah, this would be it. Don't think anyone's envious of this particular squad, but we'll just call it play. But the concept still applies. So blitz, here's what I'd probably run against bunch if you want a little sneak peek. I like this a lot. So essentially what this is, it's only a 3-man rush, but you have your deep out zone KOs on the outside. That's perfect. Since this is your outside linebacker is now corner, you can man up the strong safety on the outside receiver. So that leaves the point receiver. That's kind of your responsibility because he can beat man coverage quite a bit. So that's why I kind of leave that up to you. If you want to go one more, that's not horrible, but I think overall I prefer this. And then just hover. That's pretty good defense, right? Like, let's pull up. I'll just pull up the replay for a second. So this is verticals. Obviously, yeah. I mean, your responsibility would be the point receiver, right? And he's running the crosser. The 2 wheels are manned up. That's good. You got your hard flat. You could throw this early. There's no doubt. But he's kind of running right at the flat. So you got to make sure you see that right away. You could lurk down too, almost. But, that's good defense. Obviously, the computer didn't throw anything. So, I'll set that up one more time. Basically, when I have these deep out zone KOs, I want to set up a defense that has a cover 3 shell. So here's another similar version. Now you don't have a flat on the left side, but if they want to throw out routes to Jamar Chase, the ISO receiver all day long, you'll probably let them. That's not a big deal. So just let this run. Okay, and I failed on my crosser. That was my one responsibility. But yeah, this is decent base bunch defense. This can slow down bunch. This probably won't, nothing really beats bunch like 100%, but this is how I would do it. Now, one cool thing about 6-1. Look at what I can do. Wait a minute. I can actually. Sorry, I thought I could man up. So I'm trying to man up Nitrate Lane, the leftist screen guy. I thought I could man him up to a guy on the right, but you cannot cross man, I guess. So I just found that out. I thought you could because the icons are there, but you cannot cross man. So this is probably what I would do. This is good base defense against Bunch. Again, for verticals, you definitely want to take the crosser. I mean, that's sure you can have that, but I mean, that's going to be like no one's going to beat you throwing a check down like that. And I think manning it up is honestly not even worth the chew. If they're on a streak, I guess that would be nice because that's pretty common. Like the running back's on a streak and he's running there. But anyway, pretty happy. We got again, let's choose new play. I just want to show you guys the defense one more time. Who went where? So Simmons went there. Jair, Nitrate Lane are on the outside. Your two defensive ends are in the middle. No D tackles are starting. You got Hendricks and Tate there. And again, you locked in Ted Hendricks before you even went to the pause screen. And then I'm not sure how Tate ended up there, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's the method to the madness. And the last thing I'll do is I'll go back to the lineup screen just so you can see the requirements for it. And I think that will wrap it up. It's already been about an hour. I think the next time that I see you guys, it will be streaming some gameplay with 6-1. I originally thought I might do that in this video, but I mainly just wanted this to be an iterative, show you guys the process, how to get set up. And then next video, we can go into what you guys can do out of this defense. So keys, tricks of the trade, only 2 linebackers are here. They can be right outside with a left, a middle and a left, the middle and a right. That part doesn't matter as long as they're not both the same position. So they can't both be right, they can't both be left outside, or they can't both be middle. They have to be at least different, but they can be any 2 out of the 3. So I chose right and left. Then here, you're going to start 2 ends. Now they also have to be different ends, or 1 right end, 1 left end. Those are the only ends allowed in your entire lineup. Now, a good thing to do is to put the guys that you have middle linebacker at the backup spot here so their team chem counts. That's kind of nice. And then likewise, for your 2 ends starting at outside linebacker, go ahead and put them in at backup end. So the team chem would count. And then you're going to start defensive tackles at the end spots. And basically you start D tackles everywhere else, right? So, and then, you could put Gilbert Brown. I'm not running Packer theme team, but you could put him in backup DT if you wanted the team time to count. Kind of like I did with Tomlinson. And then the rest of it is really just putting your normal starters in, never mind the super budget team. But just keep in mind when you do the glitch, it's just going to pick your top 3 overall players and put them in. So right now I don't have Randy Moss in my lineup. Otherwise he kept ending up at middle linebacker. Go earlier in the video for that, which you might think is fun, but they don't animate. So that's a problem. They're just like linebackers without lurk artists. They don't animate. So you can't really use their wide receivers at that position. Not to mention their tackling kind of stinks. But yeah, so just make sure that your overalls are all kind of consistent. And for me right now, it's Nitrate Lane and Jair are getting glitched in, and Simmons. And I start Kraus and Isaiah Palomau along with, where's Curse? Oh, Curse is a corner. And Tariq Woolen is another outside corner just because they have the deep out zone KO, which is a beautiful ability. Very, very good. Would recommend. And then Isaiah Palomau has deep in zone KO. Oh, the other thing is Ted Hendricks with lurk artist. That's great. That's handy. Terry Tate also would get it for 1. So that's kind of what I recommend. 2 deep outs, the deep in, and then a lurk artist. If you have tons of money, you can get some of those free either pick artists or lurk artists with the current day Ray Lewis or the Bland. Go ahead and get those as well. But that's kind of what I would recommend if you're not getting discounted AP. I think I just spent an hour showing you guys this glitch. Leave comments in this video. If you guys need help specifically, you can always reach out on YouTube, but I will be checking the comments in this particular VOD very frequently. So let me know your specific questions. My guess is you're probably getting the wrong player into the position, and it's just based on your overall. So just work to try different players until you find someone that works, and it may mean that you might not be able to use either a high overall guy on offense or you need a higher overall guy on defense. So with that, I hope you guys have a great night. I appreciate you guys checking this out. If you watched it live, a special shout out to you guys, and have a great night. We'll catch you guys in the next stream.